Hey YouTube, what's going on? It is T90. Welcome to a YouTube only cast. It has been a hot minute since I have done one. I think this is going to be uploaded on the 3rd of March, or maybe the 4th of March. Not too sure, but I have been working really hard. I actually had 6 hours of phone calls today regarding Hidden Cup 3, which is coming up March 19th through the 22nd, and I realized that while you guys probably have been hyped about the qualifiers and maybe the main event of Hidden Cup, you guys also like the chill commentary every now and then, and I do too, okay? So I found some more time for that, and we have a game here between MbL. MbL's in the blue. He's playing as the Goths, and then we have Barles, who's in the red. And if you watched Hidden Cup 3 qualifiers, Barles, he played Fire in a best of 7, which may or may not be on YouTube yet. I think all the sets will be on YouTube within the next few days, but that will be up sooner or later. So anyways, that just tells you that Barles is a quality player. And Barles also has been giving a lot of love to the Ethiopians. I like the Ethiopian Civ. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like pros don't choose it as frequently as they should. And it's actually an interesting Civ against Goths. So Ethiopians get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold when arriving to each age. That's a very handy economy bonus. And yes, while they have some of the best archers in the game with a faster firing speed, and it's not so good against Goth Huskarls, they have the Showtail Warrior, and Showtail Warriors are an insane infantry unit, and we might just see that in this game. So yeah, I'll make archers and you make Huskarls, but I'll make Showtails. Good luck, Goths. And then Goths have that super cheap infantry spam. They could go champions or continue with Huskarls or whatever, but I think it's pretty even, actually. Now, if Ethiopians didn't have that eco bonus, I'd probably lean towards Goths, but economy bonuses are very much an important thing in this game. So, this version of Hideout is a little bit different than the one you might have seen in Hidden Cup 3 qualifiers recently. I think so, anyways. Yeah, definitely. So, on this version of Hideout, you have a main gold, and you have 2 4-tile golds, except I believe, and I could be wrong on this, I think on the DE ranked ladder version, you only get 2 golds, 2 stones, and then this other 4-tile is random. It doesn't look that way with this generation, but I just saw another game 10 minutes ago as I was looking for games to cast, and one person had 4 golds and the other person had 2. So I don't know if this one is necessarily always supposed to be next to a player. However, it is here, so it's balanced. But there's no 3-tile neutral gold. Whereas in the Hidden Cup 3 version, we have 3 golds per player, like most maps, and then 2 neutral golds, which are random. And then the relics and whatnot. So I just wanted to point that out, because gold is going to be... There's going to be less gold to come by. So getting the extra gold as Ethiopians when you arrive to each age, and then I guess having the very cheap infantry if you're Goths is very helpful on a map with less. So there's been a lot of hype about Goths recently. But unless MbL goes for a Dark Age Strush, there's really no difference between the Goths of last year and the Goths of today. And this is not the type of a map to go for a Drush or Dark Age Militia on. Yeah, you get 35% discount on your infantry right now, but whatever. There's walls. It was so funny, guys. I was really close to uploading it for you because I felt like it would be a good laugh. But wait a second. Now, hold. T90 doesn't prepare for his games. Is MbL actually going to take advantage of the bonus? He is. Oh my god. So, okay, let's back up and just explain this. I actually didn't see the first half of this game. I only saw the second half. So, actually, I shouldn't even say the second half. I saw the middle third of the game, and I thought it was good, and then asked MbL to send it to me. Are you going to make Militia, MbL? Is this Man-at-Arms? This might actually be Man-at-Arms. My bad. Shoot, I completely lost my train of thought. But the other game that I saw MbL playing, funny enough, he was Britain's. Somebody picked Goths, and the Goth guy went for 25 Militia. Surrounded his base with Militia. But MbL just he went Fast Castle Crossbow and kept them walled out, so the guy ended up tapping out, and it wasn't a very competitive game. Okay, wow, so MbL, I'm sorry, YouTube. You know the usual, T90's a noob. Haha, this is his full-time job and he still doesn't know what he's doing jokes. You go for it. This is a Man-at-Arm Tower Rush And this is actually taking advantage of the fact that Goths now have a 35% discount in Dark Age. Before with Man-at-Arms, you'd make the militia in Dark Age. That way you could upgrade them immediately when you get to Feudal. So this is a standard build from MbL, but because of that new bonus, Goths are significantly better with it, because you can make more than just 3. And then that discount obviously lasts throughout Feudal Age as well. So this is also a build which is quite good. I think going just Militia and Dark Age, units can wall you out. But if you go for Towers and Man-at-Arms, they can wall out the Man-at-Arms, but then if the tower's up on the other side of the wall, then they have to wall further back, right? So it's actually, there's a reason that when someone's walling, you go Man-at-Arms and Towers, because it's the fastest way to punish it. And Barles is on his way to Feudal Age. 25 pop. Did research Loom. And we'll now see that MbL's in the Feudal Age, and we'll now see the villagers. Now, I really like MbL's tower spot. You might not like it because I think a lot of you out there might think to deny the gold. But he didn't see the gold. And also, if someone's going fast castle, they're going to be really limited on food normally. So even if you deny this food for a minute, that's 100 food less they might have, and normally that's the key. For Barles, though, he has 500 food right now, and here he goes walling behind this. Again, if MbL builds another tower, then this won't be so successful, but he has 550 food. He's about to be at 650 because of the Ethiopians bonus. So this is good pressure from MbL. Now Barles, he has to decide, do I build the houses? Do I counter tower? What happens here? And MbL is still sending the Man-at-Arms forward. This is not at all what I expected. I flat out thought this was going to be fast castle. But okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving this pressure from MbL. I'm loving this pressure. This is perfect. How you should be playing Goths since the update. So many houses were used as walls as well, so I feel like Barles has the archery range on the way, but he won't have a blacksmith on the way soon. MbL, he doesn't have the resources, or anywhere near the resources to go up, but he'll start adding farms. Has some idle time, but good pressure from MbL. And also, it has to be said, 0 kills, 0 deaths so far. Good defense from Barles. I can't say there's anything here he could have really done much better. I've liked how he's played this so far, and even opting for a few stone walls to keep these units out was smart. MbL just has to be careful now that the archers are on the way. But now Barles does not have the food income to just go castle age. So the fast castle strategy, that's pretty much out the window. That's not possible. And MbL, instead of trying to break through here, which he can no longer do, realizes the gold is there after he sent his scout in a moment ago. And he's forced to counter tower from Barles, finally. Now, what's really good about going forward on Hideout is that your opponent's so far away from your base, and then you still have walls at home. So if this was Arabia, Barles could counter MbL, and MbL would be really exposed. But I really like this strategy for Hideout. I think it's good. So we could be talking in Hidden Cup 3, if there's no changes to the civs and we're playing with new Goths, we could be talking forward territory with Goths against a lot of the civilizations out there that are strong. Now, I'm not going to spoil if Barles is in Hidden Cup 3 or not, but if he is, expect him to pick Ethiopians, and oh, we just lost a villager there. He is sending the archers inside the tower, though, which I like. But this strategy from MbL is just about being a pest. Repair the tower, hop back inside.
Ow.
Feel like less lag just made certain strategies so much stronger, and the repairing the tower trick now with less lag, if you pay attention to it, it's a great skill to have. Here you have Barles going for the repair. MbL might be awkward for him to click the tower to repair it. He might accidentally click the house and... Alright, Barles defends. So Barles cannot take his stone at the moment. That's very important. It is also important to note he does not have a market. So he can't buy stone to build a tower out here. He's actually out of stone to repair too, so... But MbL now has 5 villagers forward, and they're not doing anything. They're idle. And he's not really in the best position to fight off archers with fletching either, especially Ethiopian archers, and especially with Barles micro, because Barles he's a very quick player. What I can tell you, because this was already in the Hidden Cup 3 playlist on YouTube, if you want to see it, Barles, who's a Polish player, beat Slam 3-1 in the first round of the qualifiers, and Slam is one of the fastest players ever, so now he's, I would say, out of shape, but it just kind of shows you how good Barles is. I'd say he arguably had the best micro in the qualifiers, too. He had some 6 splits. So he picks off 3 units, and MbL is building a forward archer range. And I imagine that's for skirmishers. I really don't like that. I think... I mean, if you make a mining camp on the stone, maybe? Build a tower, mining camp on the stone. You deny it and keep your vills alive. If you make the archer range from home, then you can deal with the skirms a bit easier. It's also very difficult here, too, because Barles has a scout out there. That's a pretty close game. I would say that Barles has the lead at the moment. Has his gold, has his archers, has a lot of beautiful farms. Uh-oh, this could be rough, though. I didn't think about this. If he goes in for the counter and MbL's expecting it, then he could be off of his gold. This is assuming that MbL can micro properly because, okay, some archers are coming back. We're still talking about 6. Barles was about to throw the barn there and attack that. Okay, that's actually a wise move for MbL to back up for the time being. And a wise move from MbL to build a house behind there to buy himself some time. And Barles also... I'm actually not sure why the vills were out there. Maybe he wanted... I don't know what vills is going there, or are going there, rather, but... Looks like he wants to take that stone. What an interesting game. This is so much better than I thought it was going to be. I just wanted to talk about the late game. But we have a mid game to this. This is amazing. I was not expecting this. I'm really pleased. Well, Barles bought some stone. Again, he's not mining stone. And he's building a tower to protect his golds. He knew that MbL would come in, and also MbL has armor and fletching on the skirms. Makes it very difficult for the archers to take fights. MbL built an archer range at home now to make skirmishers. And he pre-built, or partially built houses. Because he knew Barles would be on the way. But I think Barles can still run in here. Because that house will go down. Yeah, Barles could still run in here and be really annoying. But what a messy, messy game. And this is a typical MbL rated game. Like, extremely sloppy, all over the place. Doesn't really care. Like, I appreciate the Norwegians. Because Viper, he'll experiment with different strats in rated games. Because he doesn't care about points. And MbL, he does it, I'd say, for different reasons. He's less of the type to be like, I'm going to pick this civ because it's new. But he just does wacky things. He's all over the place. And I really... We're so close to Hidden Cup 3. So I can't hate on people for trying to practice meta and being tryhard. But even as someone who likes to be competitive myself, I get so bored with players, and I'm not going to name names, who just pick the best civ all the time in rated games. It makes me want to barf sometimes. Actually, I just can't watch their games as much. Like, if certain players aren't on my YouTube channel a lot, it's either because I can't find the games, or they're always picking Persians on Nomad, or something like that. That's... Again, I can't blame them. Like, if we're further away from a big tournament, then I can whine more, but... The whole point is here, appreciate MbL for the fact that he's picked Goths, and appreciate Barles for picking Ethiopians. What an interesting game, too. Now Barles is on the way to Castle Age. I can say that MbL is really in a great position right now. If the Castle Age difference is that high, and Barles is able to keep these units alive and get ready to micro, MbL? I call him the cockroach of AoE. Can he stay alive? He is being stubborn here, but Barles, for the most part, is equal to it. Barles has actually placed a house because sometimes after MbL garrisons and re-garrisons, sometimes the tower will automatically aggro the closest thing. I don't know if that should be fixed or not. It's just part of the game, but players know about it. So that house is intentional. Repair, 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 repair. And now MbL is on the way to the next stage as well. So I think in an ideal world, what MbL wanted going into that strat. Oh, and he missed the archers. Oh, that hurts. Just passing. But I think in an ideal world, he wanted to go into the towers. So he'd be on stone. So he could then build a castle and then go for Huskarls against archers. It's actually perfect. Ethiopians once go archers. You put them onto archers, and then you make Huskarls, which are anti-archer. However, if you put him onto archers, and then he's in Castle Age significantly faster than you, and you don't have the stone when you arrive to Castle Age because you have to build defensive towers and all the other types of things, then you have to go elite skirm. So that's what MbL's doing here. Barles is really looking to micro nerd it up. However, it is actually pretty smart from MbL to just close the distance. It's this upgrade right here, the armor, is 4 pierce armor. Now these are crossbows, so they do 7 attack, but you can still tank some shots. And Barles only had 5 units, so Barles just gives up there or forgets for a moment when he was dealing with something else. He was probably dealing with this. He cleared out one tower and he'll clear out the next now. I think Barles really just needs a knight out. He's added the stable, and this is... I'm not gonna lie, this is bad for MbL. This is incredibly bad, and Barles is playing this really well. Like, really good stuff. You can see why he's going to be in the conversation amongst top players now, because 52 villagers versus 52, he's even there, and he'll add the second town center, so he'll get ahead. And then, I guess MbL's adding a few, but he has the knights to counter the skirms, and that was not an easy fight in Feudal. For him to have to lose his stones like that, have to defend his gold without having the stone to build towers, not so easy. So, very impressed. MbL still has skirmishers here. And he's very good at staying alive in games. I call him the cockroach for that reason. He's very good at holding on. And, I think Goths are kind of... This is gonna sound so weird, but they're kind of the cockroach of civilizations? Does that make sense? Because their early game's stronger now. We can all agree on that. But still their mid game, if they don't have infantry, is a bit awkward. But if you survive with them, then they can be beastly. So, yeah, it's like MbL. If he can survive to imp, no one can stop the guy. So, it's the perfect civ for MbL. Hidden Cup 3, we have Friar Tuck against William the Conqueror, and William the Conqueror chooses Goths on Hideout? MbL confirmed. Can't wait, man. Can't wait to guess. The guessing is just... It's so fun. Yeah, I bet you Barles never expected that MbL would make enough skirmishers to kill a knight. And he lost a few vills, as did MbL, though. And we're talking 60 vills for MbL, 57 for Barles. While we're on the topic of HC3, I would really like to hear your opinions in the comments, and I'll make sure to look at them, on things you would like in the events. Now, this is going to be probably like filler content, or things to add in, whether that's information, or I don't know, whatever comes to mind for Hidden Cup 3. If you have ideas, we're working very hard. I'm in talks with companies about sponsorship and viewing parties. I haven't been doing much else, let's put it that way, but I want to hear your thoughts, okay? So while you're thinking about it, while we're watching MbL loses skirmishers, what is this? Doubt confirmed. Sorry, Doubt, but what happened there, man? MbL, like, your boom was okay, 72 vills. You're ahead there. That was an oopsie. I think if he keeps the skirms alive, it's still kind of difficult to do much with them, but you can delay, you can distract, you can mix in something else. Now MbL, this is a bit suspect. He's building 2 barracks. Well, he'll have 3, I guess, but he's building 2 additional barracks. He does not have enough stone for a castle yet. Is he building the barracks ahead of time? So when he builds the castle, which could be soon, he will then research anarchy and then produce huskarls from the state barracks. Would make sense, but he's getting long swordsmen, which good micro, good micro, good micro, good mic, really good. I mean, that's pretty, but not worth your time. You know, he might be thinking that there will be no more crossbows here, and he wants to make longbows against the siege. failed to realize the players were cutting so close to each other. Barles realized that. And so he'll place a tower here. And MbL is like, what? Actually, this is doing MbL a favor because you needed to rebuild the lumber camp yesterday. This is some low elo legends shenanigans, MbL. Now, MbL, in his defense, he was very tired. And he's playing sloppy because it's late for him. And he plays sloppy in his rated games when it's late. I think it was like 4 a.m. for him. But that, you know, over the last few moments, that's put Barles in the lead for sure. And certainly MbL has so many idols. And he just lost a villager there, so... It's about cockroaching for MbL, staying alive. That's a Bee Gees song, right? Sorry, I'm not very cultured. Oh, even guard tower now from Barles, okay. But long swordsman, I'm gonna say this like MbL. Long swordsman? What? It makes no sense, man. I sounded Jamaican there for a second. Oh, but he wants the castle drop. Okay, so MbL wants to go long swordsman for map control and then castle drop. However, Barles is building a castle. This is something that MbL can actually see too because his house is there. So is it possible to build a castle there? There's also crossbows. We're talking Ethiopian crossbows. They're fantastic against longswords. Huskarls are good against archers. Longswordsmen are not. Archers counter them. Random scout passing through MbL's base. I was just co-casting with MbL the other day. We casted Doubt vs. Tim to see who would make it into Hidden Cup 3, best of 7. Outrageously good set, by the way. That will be on YouTube, I think, in 48 hours, something like that. Maybe even sooner. But I said in that cast that, because one player wasn't playing too hot, I said, this looks like you in rated games when it's late. And he said, why are you insulting me? But this is exactly MbL. No! No way! He is lucky he didn't lose the stone there. I thought for sure he was going to lose the stone. This is... and he's not giving up either. Wow, okay, so he has the final the Castle Age armor upgrade on the longswords. Now he is buying himself time and space to place a castle. But now there's a ram there! And Barles reacts with a scorpion and a tower. This is the throw of throws from MbL. This just... I am incredibly confused. This is 2 doubt castles in a row. 2 of them. Well, he's still producing the longswords, and so he's committing towards a strategy which probably shouldn't work. Barles, at this point, you have your own castle, so you can create the Shotel Warriors. Shotel Warrior Archer is perfect. Perfect T90 farms as well. I love the support, appreciate it. I like the Stonewall from Barles, but MbL's not stopping with the long swordsman. So, at the very least, he's been able to breathe because of this. Wow, nice quick walls from Barles to keep these villagers from getting away. Like, that is the good thing for MbL. He's been able to breathe and expand his economy. He ends up building his castle at home, which is what I expected. He built this barracks, which... It's MbL, so he'll... Oh, nice trap there, but it's MbL, so you know he'll be annoying with that. So, let's say MbL goes Huskarls champions. This is where we start asking questions. What is better, having Arbalest and Shotel Warriors, or having Huskarls champion? I think there's an argument to be made for either. There's also an argument to be made for going all in Huskarls and Castle Age, instead of going to the Imperial Age if you're MbL. They're researching Anarchy now, and instead of using those resources to go Imperial, they're spamming, because there's not too many Shotels. What will MbL go for? Yeah, he's doing exactly that. I feel like this is almost Goth meta, is spamming Castle Age, wait till you have 130 vills, then go Imp, and then you stop production for a minute, and then you have the eco to get Elite Huskarl and Champion and all that good stuff. But I could be wrong on what he's about to do. He's being very active with the fights, and I say active, I mean dead. I mean, not well executed from someone who is definitely a top 5 player in my opinion. Barles, I think the big concern for me is his food eco. Oh, whoa, he's building a castle here. Oh my goodness, he has 26 more villagers and he could lose them all if he doesn't wall this. I was not expecting that either. I joined this game when it was full Huskarl spam from MbL, and you know, the rest you'll figure out. But I didn't realize this happens. Alright, well, will the castle go up? Or will it be a doubt castle? Are the Shotel warriors going to be enough? We're looking at 85-ish%. It's close enough, right? Is this the third doubt castle in one game? MbL's making longswordsmen, and he's also making the Huskarls. Those Huskarls will really hold their own against the crossbows. The longswordsmen might hold their own against the Shotel warriors. And now the Vil count's even, and it's like Barles chopped his way through, and MbL said, thank you very much. I am Goths. I am going to spam now. I hope you don't mind. This is pretty incredible. I mean, if that castle goes up, MbL has so much economy here, and then Barles has a great avenue to push, but Barles is losing so much. Oh my goodness. So, both players in different ways have thrown. This is what I call a game right here. Oh wait, the castle. MbL, get the Vil. It's at 90%. Sorry, my overlay, this is dark here. It's a DE glitch we've been working with a new mod. I guess you can't ever stop spam if you're MbL. Which, it feels like at some point, there's going to be an opportunity. Yeah, now the Shotels arrive. But guys, MbL, take a look at this. He's raiding. Okay, the food eco, that's been expanded. This one barracks has been raiding farmers. That's important to note. MbL's farmers, they need to get out of here. 107 villagers for MbL and 70 for Barles. And look at this. Look at this. He didn't clear out the barracks. This is such a cockroach play. And Barles probably just noticed. MbL also sent some villagers over here and was sneaking in some units. Wow, the economy toll that Barles took there was huge. Oh, and you just can't track it unless you have to. The best way to stop it is just take the barracks down. 400 HP. Oh man. So they're both actually in incredibly awkward positions. MbL, he has lost about 50, I can't count. That's probably more like 10 farms. And he has 20 idols. Barles has less idols, but he's losing villagers. So, MbL likes to do this. I actually saw it in a deathmatch game once where he spams. He'll sneak a few barracks into corners and then spam with them. And MbL, he's going Huskarls against Shotels in the Castle Age, and he figures, well, I have the economy to do it. Oh man, how stressful must this have been for both? Like, this is the point of the game where I wanted you guys to see this, but I didn't realize that barracks would be so game-changing. Alright, so MbL doesn't really have that much food. He's attacking the castle, and Barles is getting murder holes. That's when you know it's bad. When you have Shoto warriors available, which are pretty decent, they have 17 attack right now. If you have Shoto warriors available, and you're making the, if you're getting murder holes, it's bad. But it's really I think it's the Castle Age Shoto warriors that struggle, because you're still looking at a 40 HP unit. Still has higher attack than a Huskarl, but the melee armor also is the same. They get more armor and much more attack, and even a little bit more HP when they're Imperial Age and Elite. So, Barles is impoverished here. His eco is just, it's not good, and even his farms aren't so efficient because he's had to move around so much. You know, us high APM players, we struggle with our economies. That's all I'm trying to say. What's funny about murder holes is that you don't know your opponent has murder holes until you arrive to the castle and you see that it's attacking you. Murder holes you can attack. There's no minimum range on castles and towers. Murder holes actually will save the castle though. So that was a good play. Can Barles stabilize here, guys, or will MbL's single barracks here continue to annoy him? How will this fight go? MbL? Fight? Thanks, DE? Okay, he engages. Okay, the Shotels are doing well. I noticed that there were a few show tells from Barles around, but imagine if he would have sent show tells to the farms of MbL. He hasn't had an opportunity to do that. And MbL's still streaming in more units. He stopped that wall earlier. There's been too much going on, so I haven't been able to talk about it. Okay, and now Barles takes out the barracks. So finally... Alright, here's some show tells in MbL's woodline. That's not the best spot, but I guess they're coming from this castle, so... Maybe even some rams now from Barles. As he thinks about a castle age push, I do like that MbL has built outposts all over. He knows where everything is, and he is controlling this game. 48 military. Yeah, so if you double the numbers, just continue to push if you're MbL. Continue to raid. I think that's the key. Big fight. He's still fighting underneath castle fire. Doesn't care. Sees the houses out here. Knows there must have been a vill. Took care of that. Or the vill's not in the area anymore. Here there is a knight from Barles, which I guess he created from that stable. I think the show tells would have been better, but he didn't have a castle nearby. How many relics are we talking about right now? About to be 2 for Barles, and I think 2 for MbL? Yeah, 2 for MbL with the 5th on the left side. But this raiding is non-stop! This production is crazy! 125 bills. Who needs the Imperial Age? Just spam. Just spam. This is like... This game is all about what my dad used to always make for dinner when my mom wasn't home growing up. Spam. Spam and baked beans. The simplest of dinners. And the simplest of wins for MbL if he continues. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. I'm not really a huge fan of spam. And I'm also... I wasn't a huge fan of the nights that my dad would have to cook, which was pretty infrequent at my house, but I think Barles is probably shaking his head. Kicking himself for not taking out the barracks, kicking himself for not getting more show tells possibly, maybe kicking himself for being so stubborn with the castle. 200 population for MbL. This is ridiculous. 75 military. Only Goths. Only Goths can do this. He's on this farm. He's on this area. He's on this TC. He's over here. He's everywhere. MbL has always been one of the best Goth players. Now there's a bit more reason to pick them. And in Hidden Cup 3, MbL might be going for Goths. There might still be some information on if Goths are even going to be on the same balance with the Hidden Cup tournament, because I think most high-level players think they're a bit too OP right now. There might be a bit of a decrease with that discount in Dark Age for them. But what an interesting game. We had the Dark Age conversation. We had the Feudal Age aggression, solid defense, even Castle Age. Barles went for a chop through, a tower, a castle. And then MbL had some sneak vills, some sneak barracks. He had some doubt castles. This game truly had everything that it could have had, if you think about it. Oh, even a villager in the corner building a house. We didn't talk about her, but... what you don't know is that, unfortunately, she was ostracized from the community. And that information is going to come out next week about what exactly happened, but I don't think I can actually talk about it on my YouTube channel. It's not PG. 308 units killed. And the Ethiopians are very religious. And let's just say that was not okay. 258 units lost. KD is rarely very good for Goths, especially when you're making Huskarls against show tells. It's not too bad, but it's not great either. Plus, MbL was running underneath castles that had murder holes. Look at the food difference. I really think MbL won this game with the farm raids. It's such an MbL way to win it. Just be sloppy the whole way through and it doesn't matter. Ridiculous. But there was that one moment there in the south, if you watch the whole video through, Barles, it was actually exactly where he had the knight. A Showtell warrior just passed there, so maybe if he would have been able to get Showtells to raid MbL's farms at the same time, he could have held on. The gold didn't end up being very different. It didn't matter too much. Same with the stone. It was just all about this. Right here. This was it. This was the moment. You can see how little, like, military count stayed the same for Barles, but the raids that MbL had in the farms with the sneak barracks won the game. A 400 HP barracks on fire won MbL this match. That was incredible. If you enjoyed this, please like the video. You don't have to. I think if you're watching consistently enough, that is good enough for me. But would appreciate it, especially nowadays because I'm putting in more time on top of all the Hidden Cup 3 preparations. If you would like to see Hidden Cup 3, March 19th through the 22nd, and if you would like to see the qualifiers, because many of you guys who only watch on YouTube probably are missing them, we're going to have a new best of 7 qualifier up on YouTube every 12 hours, I believe. Which at this point, I think we've had 4 out of the 8 best of 7s already up for you, but it will be up in due time, okay? Thank you for watching, YouTube. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.